muscles produce proteins that affect your brain to like combat anxiety, depression. So like that, there's something I always stand on. Basically, if you have a thought of like, you should be doing something, and if you don't do it within 5 seconds, you're not going to do it. Like it's going to, after those 5 seconds are over from the initial thought, the reality of you actually doing that thing is going to die.
It was Mel Brooks, right? Is that what her name was? The 5 second rule? Is that what the book was?
I can't remember who it was, but I just remember these, I got a million of them, but
Yeah, there's a woman that wrote a book. I think her name was Mel Brooks. It's either the 3 second rule or 5 second rule. Somebody can look it up and double check for me. But it was like a New York Times bestseller. It's a great book. This woman was unhappy in her marriage later in her years. Was like, I think they had kids too, but she was contemplating divorce. Yeah, 5 seconds, the 5 second rule, contemplating divorce, all the stuff. Her life was a fucking mess. And then she just developed this thought process of, I'm going to pretend that every time when I wake up or I make a decision that there's like a camera on me, that there's people literally watching me right now. Like my life is a show on TV. And she would count. She got the idea from like NASA launching rockets into space, going like 5, 4, 3, 2. And she would actively count in her head, just like that when she's making a decision or waking up in the morning to like, because this woman was so depressed she couldn't get out of bed. And nothing, no affirmations, none of this shit was working. So she just decided, okay, I'm going to pretend like my life is being streamed live, like I'm on TV. Everybody's watching me. And she just goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and gets up and does the thing, whatever it is. As simple as getting out of bed, brushing your teeth, whatever it is. The power in that, without her even realizing, is that you're disrupting that thought process of like, say you wake up in the morning and you want to hit the snooze. You don't want to get up and start getting ready. You don't want to lace your fucking shoes up and go for a run. Your brain, the lizard part, the subconscious, is coming forward, battling you all the time because the body knows, hey, this is, we're putting off dopamine. Your automatic, the auto NPC in you wants the path of least resistance that gets it the most fucking dopamine it can for the least effort possible. That's the battle we have every day, every single day. We're battling this little automatic thing in us, the lizard, our base fucking ape that just goes, feel good, feel good, feel good. Don't work hard, don't work hard. Conserve energy, conserve everything. So you have to be cognizant in that moment by breaking it through active thought, being conscious of like, instead of battling that stream of unconsciousness coming to the forefront, it's 5, 4, 3. The counting alone disrupts that. And then it brings you squarely present in the moment of having to count down. And then you have to act in that moment as you're counting down. The moment you're done saying 1, go, just do the thing so that your brain can't come back and fight you on whatever it is you're trying to do. It's an extremely simple, powerful technique, man. Whenever you're facing a decision, having to do something as small as fucking brushing your teeth, bro, if that's the issue you're having to do, or getting out of bed because you're depressed, just counting, disrupting that automatic system in your brain and being cognizant of counting down numerically 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just getting up and doing the thing without thinking of it. Because you'll stop yourself. Your brain is very good at stopping you from doing the thing you should be doing that is better for you in the long term, because it seeks automatically short-term, instantaneous pleasure. Why the fuck do you think porn is so popular? Video games are so popular. Anime is so popular. Drugs are so popular. That's instantaneous, least amount of work, right there in your face, consistent, one after the other. Dopamine, dopamine, dopamine hit, dopamine hit. That's what that is. That's your brain. And that destroys your ability to chase long-term goals and deal with obstacles while you're chasing that vision. Because you're used to quick, short dopamine in bursts like that with little effort, when something gets hard, you'll quit. And then you'll revert back to some easy thing that gives you dopamine. This is where a lot of men are today, especially the addicts of porn, say, for example. They'll attempt something, and immediately when it gets difficult, they'll quit and go regress into like watching porn and jacking off. Or the video game addicts, same shit. Like they can't do something difficult in real life, say applying for multiple jobs, working hard, competing against other people. Or if something difficult happens into their life, they'll regress right back into the easy dopamine of playing video games. And that feedback loop it's so detrimental, dude. It's very insidious. You don't even know that you're doing it, and it's setting you back in life tremendously. These days, we don't get them back. This day will pass, and you can't buy back time. All you have is today, the present moment, and what you do with it. Living in the past only serves as a lesson to what you should avoid. That's as much as you should take out of it. Don't live there. It's good to remember bad moments and train your brain to not make the same mistakes. Great. In the future, the only time you should be delving into the future is to see the end goal of who you could be, the successful version of you. All your goals achieved. Use that as fuel for the present moment. But that's it. You don't dwell. You don't dream all day of the future or be stuck in the past, reliving, say, bad memories. And then you cripple your present moment. You cripple the action. That's what depressed people do. They think about shit that makes them depressed. They think about bad moments in their life, the things that triggered depression. How could you possibly live present in the moment, do anything, get out of bed when you're constantly back there on the moment that hurt you emotionally? What about the people that always live in the future and they're constantly anxious and get crippled by it? The anxiety, they can't even complete a single task because they may be thinking of 10 million things that they have to do by next week. They don't have the time, and they become crippled and don't even achieve half the things they could have. These things are destroying people today. And the simple fact is that we control all of this shit in our mind, yet we're not taught about it. And we're doomed to repeat these until we're dead, until we somehow come across this information, until we somehow recognize that there has to be more to life than this, that I am capable of more. My dreams, the person I want to be, doesn't align with who I am today. I'm not happy, but we don't have the steps, the tools to bridge that gap. Well, how do I become that person? I don't understand. What mistake am I repeating? What's the issue here? Until you start to really do the self-work. This is the self-work that they talk about, the self-improvement. It's not just waking up, mindlessly going to the gym, because that's what healthy people do. You're supposed to go work on your body because you need a strong body to help facilitate the strong mind, and vice versa. And then you start to discover yourself. Most of the guys that are lifting there are often like another world in their brains. They're doing work, self-work. Were we all taught this in school? Fuck no. We learned geometry. Dumb shit that I haven't even applied since I've graduated. We're taught to go down the conveyor belt of company man. Put in your 40 hours. Maybe work overtime. Then get taxed. Then hopefully find a good girl. Then you're in debt and try to raise a kid. You're never home. That kid gets obviously brainwashed by society. Then die. Retire, die. Congratulations. That's a human life. That's modernity today. And people are like, why the fuck is everybody going crazy? How could you not? We're done watching the vids for today. Any questions? Anything. Honestly, just talk openly.
Just like a quick, I don't know, like a thing that I've heard Mike Ditka say, other people, yesterday's history.